All right, how's everyone doing? I'm Rich Celenza. Thanks for checking out my channel. So I travel a lot. I give pointers on the road on how to help people do things affordably and what to look out for. So I'm in a car rental. I did another video regarding what to look out for and all these different things regarding car rentals, but I'm going to do another quick one because this is kind of when you go to pick up your car, what you really got to look out for. And there's the obvious things. You obviously want to walk your car and make sure there's no dings, which if you look down here, there is a ding. I actually wanted this white car here because it's summer. It's about 100 degrees out here in New York. And I want to get a white car because it's cooler. The only thing is it didn't have a remote on the car key, which aggravates because one is I don't always remember the car. So I need that remote. Plus it just aggravates, but I don't have a remote. Every time I have to open the doors, close the trunk, all these things, it just pisses me off. Also, I usually get one style car because I travel so much, so then I'll remember what type of car I'm getting. So usually I get silver cars. They didn't have any available. But one of the things, obviously, when you go to rent a car, you want to have your own insurance. I wouldn't pay for their insurance. I think it's a yank. But if you don't have any insurance, make sure you get some form of insurance. If you work for a company, they should have an insurance for you, obviously. Or your personal insurance. Sometimes your credit cards cover that. They're going to ask you if you want them to fill the tank up. You always want to fill the tank up. Also, when you go inside the car, this is one thing I always do, and I just did it right now. So I was actually, one is you got to put the air on, all right? You got to make sure the air is cool. A lot of times you'll pull out of here and the car sucks. It's not as strong as it should be. Also, charging. When you're charging your phone, where are we at here? This. So I plugged it in the one on the left-hand side. It didn't work, but the right-hand side does work. If I was with my girlfriend or my kids, I would want to make sure both of the electric outlets work because a lot of times you get burned. You leave here, you don't even know if either one works, right? So be aware of that, big time. Also, a lot of times, this is in the winter, if you get a car, make sure it has a scraper, all right? That's very important because a lot of times you'll come out, there'll be snow, and guess what? You got no scraper. Also, if you want to do this, you could carry it, a mini hammer or a regular hammer in your suitcase. You're going to think I'm crazy, but I promise you, if you go to Canada, the East Coast, Chicago, the Midwest, and you get caught in rental cars, your tires start to spin and you get stuck in ice a lot of times, and there's no way of getting out of it. You don't think it's a big deal, but I promise you, it's huge. Especially if it's freezing out or below zero. If you have a hammer in your rental car with you at all times, and this could go for your car at home as well, put a hammer in there because you can knock out all the ice and then scrape all the snow. But anything to break ice, just in case you end up in that situation. I've even left, or I woke up in hotels and had to leave and been stuck. Blankets of snow, ice underneath. It's brutal, but you pull out the hammer and you start knocking it out. All right, those are just some quick things to think about. Also, obviously, tinted windows if it's hot out. And what else would I say? All right, some have satellites, some don't. Sometimes if you go check before, even if you don't pay for satellites, some of the cars are automatically set up with it. This one looks like it even though, but I'm paying a ton of money for this car. They need a slap in the face. So also check the trunk space and also inside to make sure it's clean, all right? If you are going to travel in certain weather, here's the thing. If you're going to be in the hills of, say, California, you're going to be going in mountains, for instance, make sure you get a strong car. Don't go for any bullshit because the car will die on you going up those mountains or hills. Like it's pulling. It doesn't have any, any power. And the same goes if you're going in the snow. Like even when I went to Canada or Alaska and places, sometimes you think that because you have a bigger car, it's going to work out better for you. Like you're going to be above the snow or it's got better traction. It's not true. What it really comes down to a lot of times, obviously, is the power of the car, but it's your tires. Make sure you insist that you have snow tires. Even if you get a smaller car, and then they have metal thread tires, okay? You want to always protect yourself when you're driving through really bad climates. And a lot of these rental cars, you also want to maybe look and see how many miles. Some got 30,000. It's a lot of miles for a rental car, but they're not always in the best condition. And also when you put your car on, make sure there's no oil lights or low tire because that thing starts beeping constantly and then you may even have to service it. So just make sure when you get in this car, everything is done. I know it takes an extra 5 minutes to do, but I promise you it's well worth it. I pulled out numerous times, had to come back, or I've been on the road, they start having issues. And there's some things you can't prevent, but there definitely are some things you can. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up at that. Subscribe to my channel if you get a chance. And I'm Rich Celenza, and I wish you nothing but the best. Safe travels.